Howdy Cowdies, weekly walkabout time at the collector. Yep, it's that time again. Yep, this has actually happened. We've got the Blokes Shed Auction this week. Some bloody good stuff. These are early Victorian Railways, little sterling silver badge. This is another little enamelled badge there with certificate to go with it. Cool stuff. This is a little World War II ID model. I think of a Kawasaki car 41 Shinden or a Tony, I think it is. Some great little Japanese tin toys over the back, the tank and the armoured car. These are World War II sort of ID or dog tags. Some footy ephemera, Black Rock Footy Club membership ticket from 67, and I think there's a 57 Collingwood fixture. These are cool old postcards of all military aircraft, some naval ships. It's a fantastic photographic postcard of Captain Gordon leaving Walmer. And his aeroplane's only just making it over that building, and it looks like an bloody old aeroplane, about 1905, 1910, something like that. Some cool pin-up girl, sort of glamour girl, circa 1900 postcards over the back. And this is little tankard's got some old aircraft gauges and sweetheart badges in it as well. Little RAAF sort of stuff. Some good little bits and bobs in the jewellery cabinet. I mean, it's the nicest meat safe I think I've ever seen. Absolute ripper of a bit. Little console radio's nice as well. The Beale panoramic or something, pan-chromatic. It's got a little pan there off on the right playing his pipes with his little hoofed feet. This is an old Ibanez classical guitar. It's in its original case. Cool thing. Got some really nice bloody guitars this week. A couple of speaker boxes and a Clubman CX100 guitar amp head. Really nice old chairs. Has the sort of big metal structural supports on that one. I reckon someone broke that chair at some stage. Someone else fixed it and said no one's ever going to break it again. Really cool. Sort of tools and number plates and stuff. Power tools, cigarette packets, mobile oil tin, little Caltex, cool little sort of cloth bag there with a nice little Caltex jug. Some sort of bottles and packaging and oily type stuff. It's a good big box of Led Zeppelin books. This is a fur coat that's not in the auction this week. So don't worry too much about that. But there is a little sailor's uniform somewhere. Anyway, we've got stereo gear. Nice old, looks to be a 16mm projector. Trading cards, CDs and DVDs. Footy cards and ephemera. Big lot of tools. Cool old beehive smoker. Big lot of toy cars. Trucks. Records. Stereo gear. It's a good box of gaming stuff. PS2 and an Xbox with heaps of games and all the gear to go with them. Remote control cars. We've got no hand controllers, but they're good four-wheel drive ones. Good little lot of unmade model kits. Big plastic Millennium Falcon. Books and ephemera and Star Wars gear. What else have we got? More boxes of mixed sort of stuff. This is all fishing and sort of blokey gear. Tank cards and scales and weights. It's a funny little guitar in a case. Looks like a copy of a Gibson SG but with a single humbuck, which is a bit unusual. No brands or markings, but there is, looks like decoration, a little hand with a butterfly or something on the humbucker cover. What else have we got? Power tools, cool old comics, magazines and stuff. Carter's books. Backpack sprayer with some bike mudguards, ice skates and lanterns. Something for everybody. These are cool big enamelled panels with hand-painted pictures on them. Hand tools. It's a nice little Suzuki classical. I think it is, or maybe even a Yamaha. Guitar cases, stands and a little sort of Washburn Disney. Skateboards and a big electric Formula 1 racer and a Mongoose scooter. More tools and blokey sort of stuff. Power tools. Old sort of car tyres with their rims, Holden hubcaps, but the rims are a bit unusual without spokes. Big group, lots of stuff. Tins and sort of blokey gear and guillotines. More tools. Car parts. Motorbike helmets and leathers and remote control cars. This is all sort of sports and rugby gear. Little box of rock and roll stuff. A TISM video cassette. What else have we got? A little ammo crate with gear in it. There's a cool old James Hardy 1000 1986 sew-on patch. electric violin, sort of rock and roll books, CDs, Victoria, New South Wales Railways books. There's a really nice lot of guitar amps with the big Celestian foldback speaker, guitar books, more tools. This little caravan's a cracker, great little thing. New South Wales Railways Repro luggage rack, more tools, toys, bionicles, scale extricts, remote control, sort of lab gear, more tools. I really like this little depression cupboard, cool sort of shape about it. It's all made out of old sort of bits and wood and been sort of slapped together like I sort of would do it, which is really cool. I like this coat stand, light stained oak. This is a nice Suzuki acoustic guitar, hard case. Little Japanese 70s top tone with a little single sort of soap bar pickup in it. And this is another Japanese thing I'd be thinking, possibly Korean, but no brands on it. But really cool with all the different 4 pickups and all the switches and chrome work on it. This is a nice little Telecaster copy. There's no brands I could see on it, but it's a good quality little thing, bit of age. It's not a Chinese thing. Just needs the jack needs to be screwed back in, wired up properly. Stereo gear. What else have we got? This big sort of lodge certificate thing. Yamaha bass, good quality. Chinese table's quite nice. This is a cool old sort of 60s, 70s Ibanez. Wacky guitar with all the pickups and switches and everything all over it again. What else have we got? There's some nice guitars here. Little Ibanez, little twin humbucker, nice little thing. I'm not sure about the model number or anything like that. We've got some great pilots helmets and goggles. The goggles are sold separate to the helmets. It's a Russian one there. Little furry ear flap hat's cool. Little tropical or summer helmet. Another leather stag one with the goggles. Like I said, the goggles are separate to the helmets. It's a good Fender guitar amp, Mustang 3 with all the sort of preset effects and everything in it. Park bass amp's nice, made by Marshall. I think it's made in Korea, this one. Just needs a couple of new knobs and stuff, but he's all right. Some nice guitars. Fender Stratocaster from the 1980s with a humbucker and a couple of single coils. Ibanez Les Paul, 1977, post-lawsuit model with the inlay on the headstock. Fender Jaguar, it's a really nice thing as well with the single coil pickups. And this Hoyer Esquire 19A, this thing is a cracker of a bit. It's been electrified, so it is semi-acoustic. Plays quite nicely. It's in really good condition. We've got all cases for all of these. There are all the cases for them underneath the table. Nice guitars. And these are cool photograph albums with all photographs from Australian sort of motor racing events. Bathurst 1982. There you go. Maryborough Rally 1983. There's an air show. So there's 2 albums there full. Pretty cool. And there's another lot here of them as well with 3 albums. Military stuff. Australian rock and roll, stamps and philatelic. Motor racing, sort of motorbike boots and posters, Ferrari stuff. We've got heaps of good records. A couple of Led Zepp albums, quite unusual. Tribute to Johnny Kidd and the Pirates. Led Zeppelin, Paris Studios, 1971. These are all Dave Gilmour, Roger Waters LPs. Australian Motorist magazine from 1920s, pretty cool. Motorbike manuals, Kawasaki and Suzuki and the rest. These are all cool sort of records with covers. Winds of Change. I Run Butterfly. There you go. All with cool sort of covers and stuff like that. Van de Graaff generator. Remember them at school, make your hair stand on end. And this is cool, Electric Light Orchestra. But cover designed by good old Geiger, who did all Alien and that sort of stuff. What else have we got? Prince records, Jimmy the Human and Chain, Led Zepp 2, which is coloured vinyl, a couple of Stones LPs, original Lava Lamp, some black light posters. This is a cool little lot with the little magnifying sort of slide projector. You got Train Tickets and Ephemera, sort of Pubinalia. Dr. John records, The Who records, Batman comics, cool old Radiant Heater, John Lee Hooker. Couple more Stones LPs. Army helmet. This is a cool folio with the 23 out of the 24 coloured plates on carpentry. Big glass lidded jar. Really nice little Alcon fan. This is more photographs from Bathurst and Australian Grand Prix 1970s, 80s. Some sort of guys, books, magazines, high heels and stuff. Cigarette cards, signed bits, but the Teddy Whitten thing isn't signed. There's a certificate of authenticity on the back to tell you that that is not an actual signature. Love it. Models of yesteryear, all mint in their boxes. Some King Crimson LP records over the back. A couple of Woody Guthrie ones. Velvet Underground. Yeah, the Ramones. There's a cool little lot of Oz pottery and some English stuff as well. What's this? Like the Stranglers LPs. Joe Jackson. Madness. Led Zepp. Cool lot of Talking Heads. There's about 5-6 records in that lot. And this is a cool lot of albums. These have all got sort of glamour girls, pin-up girls on the covers. Swinging in a Winter Wonderland. Barabbas. The Dance Date. And this is my favourite. The Lederhausen Party. What do we got in here? Fishing gear. Pubinalia. Belt buckles. Sort of life-saving gear. Tools. Playing cards. Fabulous Fairy Freak Brother comics and some others in there. Spyro Gyra LPs. Tom Waits and CW Stone King postcards. You got some Mark's Tin Toy Trucks. Jesus and Mary chain. Funkadelic and Parliament. Now this is a cool lot. X-Ray Specs and Susie and the Banshees. Great little lot. This X-Ray Specs album's pretty damn cool. I think her name was Polly Esther. She passed away not long ago. Important early sort of female punk stuff. Link Ray. Bit of Rumble. Railway Lamp. Janis Joplin LPs. This is a really cool bit that works. The Runway Light. It's got all the details on the top. Riding Crops. Led Zepp. The Specials LPs. What else is in here? Stray Cats. The Specials. The Jam. And Traffic. Thin Lizzy. It's a cool compilation album. The Roxy London. January to April 77. It's got X-Ray Specs and some other sort of early punk stuff on it. Bootlegs by Yes and Fleetwood Mac. More Led Zepp LPs. Lou Reed. The Scientists. Kim Salmon, I think, singing with them. Sort of rock and roll. You got Guns N' Roses and Lita Ford. Racer X. Signed ZZ Top LP. All the guys have signed it in Texter. Randy Rhoads. Some Jugs. Led Zepp bootleg, Iggy Pop reissue, Hendrix again, more Railway Lights, big twin bulb soda siphon. This is a cool lot. The Christmas card sort of sample album, all the cards in it, boxing magazines, really cool old Peter Brock poster driving his Tirana GTR XU1, another nice big Railway Light, Led Zepp, unusual ones, Fillmore. Never mind the Bollocks Sex Pistols with a concert ticket. Black Crosses Off My Wingtips, a cool book by World War II fighter pilot Ace, which has been signed by him. A couple of early Leadbelly 10-inch LPs, bit of blues, some cool little races. Led Zepp, 17th Australian Infantry Brigade sort of historical book. New Zealand cut plug tobacco tin's pretty cool. We've got heaps of good little tin toy, clockwork toy races. Led Zepp 3, it's in great condition. This bell's pretty cool. It's got portraits of Stalin and Roosevelt and Churchill. And around the bottom it says RAF Benevolent Fund, cast in metal from German aircraft shot down over Britain 1939 to 1945. Cool thing, the Victory Bell. A Russian Led Zepp LP, pilot's helmet with the goggles, Led Zepp bootleg, Beatles Sgt. Pepper's. There you go, there's more stuff kicking around, Star Wars and a sort of ancient Greek style helmet, more riding crops, motoring ephemera, helmets. There's more gear in here as well, little Melbourne Olympics dishes, little felt patches and more good little tin toy races. speedboats, trench art. That'll do, guys. Anyway, we're only allowed 20 people in on Thursday night, so we're sort of getting a lot of people to try and do absentee bids if they're only interested in a couple of lots. Alright, so hopefully we'll see you here on Thursday night. Be good. See yous.